Welcome back, my friends. My name is Eric. This is MW5 Gaming, and we are here for a new series on Mech Warrior 5. This is going to be a heavily modded series, and by heavily modded, I mean a couple. Let's go ahead, actually, and let me... I didn't think this through all the way. Give me just a second, and we shall show you what we got coming up for you. Somewhere in here. All right, so these are the actual mods that installed as a mod. All of these comes from nexusmods.com if you're interested. We've got Big Critical. I don't think I actually have it. I might not have I don't think I have Big Critical actually enabled at the moment. It's installed, but it's not enabled. So, but we do have the extended Mech Lab. This comes with the MW5 Reloaded mod. Hangar spawn location, this will spawn us at the top rather than at the bottom in the hangar itself, so we don't have to run as far. Marketplace equipment viewer. I think this is another one I have disabled at the moment because something else, probably the Mech Warrior 5 Reloaded, gives us a very similar type of function. It essentially gives you a way to look to see what else a mech has installed other than the weapons, so you have some idea what you're getting with it. I preferred this version, but I didn't figure I needed two things doing exactly the same thing. MechWarrior 5 Compatibility is actually needed for the Rescale mod, which I don't believe we're using either, but we do have it on there. Show Nix is another one that's not enabled, but it is there. Again, it conflicts with MechWarrior 5 Reloaded, unfortunately. This is one that shows your nickname rather than the model number of your mech, which I like, but isn't going to help us. I don't remember which one this one is. I should. I remember installing it. It may come to me, it may not. Tabletop rules, both Lancemate AI, as well as enemy AI. The Rescale, like I said, isn't going, but we do have the sensor mod as well. Going for that, as well as their jump jet mod is built into this. And that is the ones that install as a mod. Those that install as a pack are here. This is the respawn mod that determines where enemy units respawn onto the map. So in this case, it makes them come in on actual jump ships rather than just miraculously show up right behind you. Career mode we're going to talk about here in a second, and I did a short video on it. This gives us a career mode rather than have to play through the campaign. Paint style saving, same thing we've been doing forever to save our actual paint schemes. And I'm using the Techy Hud. I like the look of the 3D HUD that everybody else uses, and I do like the advanced zoom that's available on at least one other mod, UI mod. However, I don't like the fact that everything's really spread out and I don't have a clear idea of what weapons group everything is. There are little dots to the side that tell you what weapon group it's in, but it's really hard to kind of glance and look. And maybe if I was playing on a monitor that's, say, this big in front of me and I could see everything easily and glance to be fine, but I'm playing on a TV that's about, well, you can't even see my hands because of the green screen. It's way out here. I'm playing on a large screen TV at the moment because it's what I have. It's because I watch TV here as well, and I just didn't have room for, I didn't have enough monitors and TVs for everything I wanted, or didn't have enough monitors for everything I wanted. So we're using the big screen TV here that I watch football on. And so I don't have a good overall view of everything. I can't easily see the whole screen at once. I see a portion of it. So I'm about looking like at a big movie theater, right? So it doesn't work for me. So that's what we have installed at the moment. All right. Now what we need to do today is we need to figure out what we're going to play. So we're going to pick new career, and this can give us some options. Now, originally my plan was to run, I was watching a video on the history guy the other day on the Night Witches, which were one of 3 units, regiments, I believe, in the Russian military during World War I. It was all female, and by all female, I mean all the pilots, all the supply, all the mechanics, everybody was female in it. And the Night Witches themselves were a bomber unit, and what they would do is they would sneak up right to the edge of the border of the front lines with the Germans, with their planes, with their supplies, and as soon as it got dark, they take off from these fields in these biplanes. They're actually flying crop dusters, which is just nuts to me. And in fact, I read somewhere that their top speed was actually slower than the stall speed of most of the German fighters. So they were a really hard target. They flew really low and really slow. But they would come up and just one at a time, they'd take off from their field, the no radio communications. They just go singly. They'd fly over the front line, find their target, and they'd bomb. And what they would do is they'd climb just before they got to the target, shut off the engines, dive, drop their bombs, coast out, kick on the engines again. So even the people at the target had a hard time shooting them down, even though they were fairly low. You couldn't hear the engine, so you didn't know where they were. However, the noise that the wind made going through all the lines and supports on these biplanes created kind of an eerie sound. And the Germans said it sounded like they were witches flying through the night, so hence the term night witches. Anyway, pretty neat unit, pretty inspirational, and that's who we ultimately are going to take our inspiration from. I've been playing around with kind of logos and thumbnails and stuff for it, and I just haven't come up with anything I really like. So we may not call them the night witches, but we are going to run an all-female unit. So short of Fahad, if we could fire him, we would. Anyway, so we're going to go female. Also, it's not, I don't believe an option in the normal campaign anyway, so we'll flip it. So now I had a couple ideas. Obviously, the Night Witches were a Russian unit. So, you know, maybe Capellan? I always get confused when we go from House to Confederation. Capellan, I think. House Lao, right? Makes the most sense. And if we take a look, we've got some options here, so we could pick our years, and we've got some units here. I don't mind the Catapult C1. I actually like it quite a lot. I'm not a huge fan of any of these, although the Vindicator's not bad. My other option was to play with Rasselhag. As you know, I'm a big, you know, I like Rasselhag, right? So, so we could do that. Choosing whether you're honorably or dishonorably or whatever, that doesn't change your mech options at all. So, and again, we can pick our year. A lot fewer years because Rasselhag doesn't exist for most of those years. And you can see these are our options here. Kintaro's a great mech there. Crab's a pretty solid choice as well. And then you could also find some assault mechs out there. There's a couple of these horrible Banshee ones out there. There's a number of options to get a Stalker 3 or 4. Obviously, there's a Warhammer here. So there's a lot of really cool stuff. And at the end of the day, I said, you know what? I don't have a pick. There's so many things we could do. I love the Stalker. You know that from the last series. But I kind of want to get out of the Stalker. However, a Stalker makes a lot of sense. The problem is, when you run this mod with the Mech Warrior 5 Reloaded mod, now all of a sudden you have engines and stuff. If you get cords, you lose your engine. You have to buy a new engine. So all of a sudden, starting with cheap little mechs, jumped in with very little money and without kind of the hand-holding that the normal campaign, storyline campaign, gives you through the tutorial to get up to the point, it becomes a little bit more difficult to start. There's a lot more ways to fail. And now, you get money. So for instance, if we were to take Rasselhag and we were to go here and we were to take a Kintaro, you'd see we get another 4 million C-bills, which is enough to buy a light mech. We can get one for 3.5 to 4 million. But if we lose an engine, and we also have to pay for pilots, and we also have to find some place with a mission that we can run, becomes a little more interesting. They did rebalance the inner sphere to some extent. However, a level 4 area, right? You start out at level 2, I think, but level 4 is kind of the lowest area you get. And sure, maybe it has a difficulty 4 or 2 mission, but it could also have a difficulty 31 mission, which is really difficult to do with one light or medium mech, because you will get swarmed. So all of a sudden, these become a little more difficult. Now, I don't have a problem. I've been playing, last night I played for about 4 hours using a Kintaro. I also tried the Stalker, and I played with a few others. And at the end of the day, I decided we were going to leave it up to fate. We were going to leave it up to the dice. We're still going to run an all-female unit inspired by the Night Witches. We may not call them the Night Witches. We might. I mean, that could fit in with any of these. I have failed about 15 times. Well, I've created probably 4 different thumbnail or unit insignias for the Night Witches. I'm not super happy with any of them. I'm still thinking how that works. So we may not call them the Night Witches. Or we might, and we just might change the logo that doesn't have anything witchy about it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So I have a random number generator pulled up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we are just going to leave it to fate to figure it out. So we've got a min of 1, we've got a max of 12, and we're going to generate it. We get 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. St. Ives Compact. Okay. Okay. We've got 3 options here. So 1 to 3. Whoops. 1. All right. We were honorably discharged. I would like to start probably in 3039. 3040 is when most of the kind of the lost tech stuff kind of comes into place, our double heat sinks and that sort of stuff. And within my playthrough, I think initially there were no upgrades available, but by 3040, obviously all those upgrades. So you get your ferrofibrous, your endo steel, your gyroscopes, your targeting computers, all that sort of stuff comes into play. And I don't believe it was available when I started, but it was available by the time I was done playing at the end of the night. I played a couple missions with that. So I think we're going to start in 3039. We're not going to leave that one up to chance. I think we're just going to go with that. I think that's a good year. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mechs. A couple of these are going to make life hard for us. But you know what? We're going to go with it. If it doesn't work, then you'll just never see this video. I mean, that's really what it's going to come up to. The spider. Okay. So we've got a spider. So St. Ives Compact, we've got the 2 medium lasers. We get 5.5 mil, which isn't too bad. We should actually be able to get a second mech for that. And we're just going to have to be a little more careful with what units we take and what units we don't take, or what missions we take. We may have to travel a little bit more, which is going to add up cash-wise. But we'll have to go with that. It gives us a little bit here on the St. Ives Mercantile League. Merged with 4 others to form the Compelling Confederation. One of the 5 original ones, St. Ives became the commonality, one of 5 such districts within Confederation, yada, yada, yada. Rather than stay in the Compelling Federation with a double agent who helped conquer a third of it, she fled her home nation, took the St. Ives commonality with her. So we are our own thing here. You can read the rest of it if you like. Candace allied with the Federated Sons, who provided military protection. So we can take that and we could say maybe we work with the St. Ives and we work with Federated Sons as our primary. We'll just have to see how that goes. So we're going to get 5.5 mil, and we're going to start in Mitchell, and we will see how that goes. This means nothing. They both take you to the same place. We'll click this, and I'm going to hit escape. Let's see what we get here. We got to click through all this stuff. Let's see what we look like, first of all. We got the good one. We got the good one. I was in my head trying to decide if we were going to keep running this till I got one of the better portraits. I need to scoot over. I had a green screen ordered for today, a nice pull-down one to set up here in the garage, and it was supposed to be delivered today. It was supposed to be delivered this morning, and then UPS changed it to delivered by 9 p.m., and then at 8:45 p.m., 8:44 to be exact, they updated to say that my delivery would be delayed due to weather emergency or other whatever unexpected situation, which basically means his day was done and he wasn't going to deliver it, so he went home. Like I say, it was supposed to be delivered by 9 p.m. and they did that at 8:45. It's July 4th weekend. I don't know if they're delivering tomorrow or not, so God knows when we're going to get this. So we're just running a sheet behind me at the moment, which means I don't have a whole lot of, which means we can get to about here before stuff cuts off because it's not huge. So I apologize for that. We'll see. Hopefully that will get upgraded in the near future. I've kind of guessed where I am on the screen at the moment. There we go. I need to do this on the right place. All right. Don't dismiss yourself, by the way, because it's you, right? So that's us. Let's take a look at our battle mech. This is our spider right here. And we already... I got the mic in the way. Let me move that out of the way a little bit here. Hopefully our audio will still be okay. And we can, whoops, I didn't mean to hit paint. Can we not edit the loadout? Oh, we don't have enough resources. Well, we already know essentially what it's in. Now, if we could hit equipment right there, it'd show us everything else that's on it. But it's a pretty standard 5V. We'll probably strip some jump jets off, add some armor, and see what we're going to do with it to go that way. Otherwise, I don't mind it at all. Now, there's nothing in the market. We could paint it. Now, I've been playing with paint schemes that I want, and you can see I kind of, the Russian Red Star rather than the Sherman Star, the blue. I've been playing with stuff. We could just as easily go with my one of my Fanta color schemes from Doesn't look too bad. Those are the Magners ones. We won't use those. The One Trick Pony actually, I think, looks pretty good too. It's still the same paint scheme that we use. It's that Applejack scheme that we use there, just with more muted colors. Maybe we'll go with that for now. We'll figure it out as we go. Anyway, one of the bugs is that there'll be nothing in the market at the original station you start at, which stinks a little bit because it means that you do have to travel somewhere to get anything. So, whoops, we're just going to cancel out of this. Show me a star map. We're here in Mitchell, and there's nothing here. You can see that the nearest industrial hub that we know of is there. Now, this is Reputation 13, Reputation 9, Reputation 4, and Reputation 10. So we're interested mostly in missions down here, which is fine. So I'm going to run us over here to Buenos Aires. But you can see right here, that's a $250,000 gone before we can even look at a mech or another pilot. So that is one of the negatives. It'd be nice if he would start you out either in a hub or next to a hub. And that might be something that's moddable by myself if I dig through it. I haven't looked. But you know, the starting systems don't make a lot of sense. So there's a Cicada here, a Hero one. We're not going to have the money for it, but let's go ahead and check the market. We are looking for something sub 4 million. A Raven's not too bad. Raven's really my only decent option here, right? Because that's the only one that's going to leave us money to travel. The Cicada is 15 mil. Blackjack we might be able to get away with. It is missing its AC2 and a medium laser, which means we'd have to pay for that. Is the Raven's missing a machine gun and SRM6. Now, SRM6s I found are really hard to find. This place happens to have a couple. You see, it's 200,000 for the cheapest one we can have, right? So all of a sudden you can see we're not going to have a lot of money. And it might be better just to go to another system and see what we can get. Let's see if there's any decent female pilots here. Well, we don't want too good because we can't afford too good.
You're ready to stop wasting my... Won't let you down, Commander.
Nope. They're all male anyway, so we may as well travel to another system. How about we go to Sheba? Right, that sounds... Queen of Sheba, right? That sounds appropriate for us. Maybe Sheba will be our headquarters here. So we'll hop in and see what we got going on. All right, let's take a look at the mechs. Oh, well, we can look at us here if we want. May as well, since we do have the Mech Warrior 5, we have all these extra options. We've got armor upgrades, structure upgrades, gyro upgrades, engine cooling, sensors, a targeting system basic. This is only for... this will work for one projectile weapon. If you don't have a projectile weapon, it won't give it to you. It's going to give you kind of a leading reticle, is my understanding. I haven't played with it yet. But it's going to give you... It's going to tell you where you should aim to hit the target you've got locked up. And upgraded cockpits. There's additional other stuff like arms that have additional cooling, legs that have better suspension so you don't take as much fall damage, that sort of stuff. You can see here we've got AMS slots as well. We can click there and you can see that they're there. And we could in fact buy that. So you can see here, these are some of the types of things that will be available for us when the year flips. But for the moment, they're not. So let's go and take a look at the market real quick. Yeah, we can't afford any of that, can we? Inventory, we already know about. Let's see if there's any equipment there we need. We don't know what we have, so it doesn't matter. Let's check the barracks.
Meet you in the ready room. You're ready to stop wasting my time?
My combat skills are meant to impress, sir.
She's actually pretty good. And she's the first female pilot we've seen, so we're going to grab her. But we do still need a mech of some sort, and we're beginning to get pretty close to not being able to afford to do anything. A Hunchback, which isn't terrible, but that, again, leaves us 500,000. Now, it is missing a medium laser, but only a medium laser. We could run without that. This one, that's pushing us a little closer. It has everything. I do like the two LRM-10s on it. It's actually a really good one. The 4J I like a lot. I prefer the 4J to this one. The problem is, we just don't have a lot of money. Now, what we could do is, we could sell our Spider and buy a Hunchback. You know, our Spider's worth 2 mil right now. So that'd get us up to almost 7 mil. So we could buy this, fix it up, run a mission or two with just us while we save up for another mech. 300,000 doesn't leave us enough probably to get anywhere mission-wise. Right? Because if we want to come down, and now we're too far away for those to show up. So if we go to, say, Borden, it's going to cost us 150,000 to get there. And we don't know where we're going. Man, it's just, and we don't have anything to sell, right? We're just here with this. It's only 100,000 difference. I'm gonna go with this one. We do need to. Man, this is gonna be close. But if we don't buy something now, we're not gonna be able to afford anything. So I'm gonna buy it. We're gonna go to Battle Mechs. We're gonna go here. We're gonna edit it. We're not gonna replace that medium laser. We don't, or those heat sinks. We just don't care. We're just gonna repair all, and call it a day. That's gonna cost us 74,000. We have to get a mission soon. So I'm gonna go to here, and then we'll figure out where we're going from there. All right, we've got a defense contract, an assassination contract, and a multiple mission. There. We've got a war zone there, and another assassination there. So I think we jump into here, we take what we can get, and then we go from there. That's a couple multiple. Now, if you can get enough to do multiple missions, that's really what you should do. Now, in my play last night, what I did was I got bigger mechs. I sold the little ones, but I think honestly, you're better off getting a bunch of crappy little ones, and a bunch of pilots, 4 or 5, and running a bunch of these multiple mission early. You can always bail on them if you need to, right? You just need to be able to, you know, if you can get 3 into a 4, that's better than nothing. But let's jump in here and see what we can get. Now, these might all be difficulty like 20 and not really doable by us. We're going to find out here. 3 available contracts. What do we got? Man, this is going to be, like I say, they all ended up more difficult. We need something more on the 2 to 4 level, but we're going to take this one. We do have some faction. I take it back. We're indifferent to them, which isn't great. But we're going to take what we can there. That'll get us 12. We could potentially get a light mech if something pops up with that, I think. So we're going to take it. We're also going to go ahead and we're going to take the Hunchback, and we're going to go ahead and put Lieutenant Mott in there. And, oh, we should probably paint hers, right? Let's Battle Mechs, paint, and we went with what? The one-trick pony. Is it not going to paint it? There we go. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll take it there. Contracts. Everybody's ready. Let's jump. See you on the ground.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Our client has gained reliable intel on a series of warehouses they want neutralized. We are to proceed to each location marked on the map, verify the buildings, and destroy the marked objectives. Be aware of elevated levels of hostile activity in the area, Commander, so don't stick around any longer than you have to.
Now, the tabletop AI does do some interesting things, and it ties the AI behavior to the type of mech, and it's got a number of rules for those to play. Now, the Excel file that came with mine says it's corrupted, and so I haven't been able to look at them yet, and I haven't done a lot of research, but at some point, we'll sit down, we'll look at that Excel file, get a copy of one that works, and we'll see what all of the roles are for each type of chassis and how each mech plans on working. Now, at the moment, I'm going to run ahead. She's got 2 LRM-10s back there, so she can target from a ways back. And we're going to run in, we're going to find what we need on a quick, fast mech, we're going to hop in, we're going to kill it, we're going to get out. Hopefully. Or we're just going to get stuck on that wall there. There we go. Did we not finish the first one? Really? Move, move, move. Run away, run away, run away. All right, I'm going to run away. Maybe we circle back around. This is probably not the way we want this to... Holy cow! Trying to come back to help my buddy here. All right, she's on the other side.
Target acquired.
Kill confirmed.
She got somebody.
New target acquired.
Wow, she's shooting every... Okay, oh, I don't have... I've only got body-mounted weapons.
Tango smoked.
Notice people are using jump jets.
Target acquired.
Can I get up here?
Jet fuel low. Jump jet fuel empty.
Oh, I missed pretty much all of that one. Oh, that hurt, that hurt. So there are some stuff that makes jump jets a little bit more powerful in all this. As we can see, we're flying a little bit farther. And I think there's some gravity stuff as well. Oh, come on, we're in trouble. Ouch, ouch, this is probably gonna lose his leg. Nope, not quite, not quite.
Objective down.
Where's our buddy? I'm coming back, I'm coming back. Help me, help me. Nope. Didn't get there. I'm gonna see if I can get this last one and we're gonna get the hell out. That's my goal. In and out fast. The whole point of the one-trick pony save, which you guys didn't see as my own personal save, was hit-and-run tactics, guerrilla tactics, small, fast mechs that run in, specialize in things like this, and get the hell back out again. Assassinations, raids, that sort of stuff. And we may try to do something like that. We'll have to see how it goes.
Target acquired.
Nope.
Kill confirmed.
Working out there. That's one less target. That was
Oh,
a
we still have our leg. We still have our leg. We're gonna go for it here.
We'll be pleased with our success. Now get back to the dropship ASAP.
Jump jet fuel low.
Can we get out? Can we get out? We got a helicopter chasing us. Not having any arm-mounted weapons makes them a lot more difficult.
You're clear to board at Mech Bay number 1.
There we go. There we go. We're about to lose that leg, but we did not. You guys can shoot him if you want. Ah, yes. There we go. Woo, we needed the money. Now, the problem is we've got a second mission to run. And we don't have a lot of... Our mechs aren't in great shapes at the moment. Well, we may as well take a medium laser. We'll take what we can. We didn't get anything useful because we don't really have the firepower to do anything. She's got no back armor. And we got 1 out of 2. I'm tempted to take her mech and drop this way. And we'll see if we can get through this one. If we can't, we'll just bail on it. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. No back armor is an issue. We can't let anybody behind us.
Systems phenomenal.
Our employer wants us to disrupt hostile forces' inter-system communications network by taking out a series of satellite installations. The ones they want destroyed have been marked on your map. This location is deep in hostile territory, so expect heavy resistance.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Too far out for our medium lasers to do anything now, but that's okay. We'll just drop on this guy here. Maybe. Apparently we didn't do any damage at all to him that time. Or that time. Or apparently that time. I don't know if he just has that much armor, or just our missiles aren't doing anything. Maybe a little from column A, a little from column B. It does seem a little bit difficult, though, if we can't blow up a stationary turret with 80 LRMs. Alright, well, we'll still drop down in here. We'll see what we can get done. I don't know who killed that. Something died, but it wasn't me that shot it. Okay.
Destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed.
We're in trouble.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target acquired.
I don't know about this. Where's the small laser's there? So we get rid of that. In theory, he'll bail, right? Okay.
Target destroyed.
Yep. Out he goes. So now we need to see if we can find that vehicle. That's gone. That's gone.
Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
All right. There's at least one more mech and one more vehicle out there.
Target acquired.
Scratch that target off the list.
It might just be a turret out there. Either way, we're gonna ignore it and keep going. 2 mechs out there.
Target acquired. Incoming missile. Target destroyed. Target acquired.
One more. Come on, give me my last missile. There we go. There we go.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
All right. We're in really bad shape, guys. Oops. Hopefully it's just communications towers. Oh yeah, we're toast.
Mission abort. Repeat. Mission abort. Rendezvous for evac at nav point Delta.
Target acquired.
Out we go. All right, well, we got some of the satellite uplinks. Probably that last one was the one we needed to get, but it gave us something. It gave us a little bit of money, even if we didn't get everything. We did more damage than we took. I mean, there's that. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what we've got. So we've got 590,000 now. Is that enough to actually fix something? Now the problem is, traveling somewhere to get something fixed is going to be an issue, right? So if we try to repair everything here, we do have some extra medium lasers, so we can replace that. I can replace that. Missing heat sinks. Missing one LRM-10. And we've got no real replacement for that. I mean, we've got SRM-2s. We got 3 of them. Those aren't really going to help us right now, so I'm not even going to bother putting them in because I don't have ammo for them. More heat sinks gone. So, yeah. And small laser that's I'm going to take out. I'm going to max armor it, which isn't going to help us a lot, but it's something. And we're going to repair. That's 286. Now let's take a look at home, see if there's any other missions we can do. Man, there's not a lot. There's not a lot. The problem is if we travel somewhere and they're equally as bad, we're in similar trouble. So I will leave that to next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think of the new series. We'll see ya. Cheers.